Today on Business Under Fire, we have Caylon Garnett, who owns South Tex Propane out of beautiful Lavernia, Texas. And this is his first podcast. Are you nervous?
Nah, not really.
All you talk about is burnt bean barbecue.
It's good.
What
Good.
else is there?
I don't know.
Bill Miller's.
Nah.
I just found out Bill Miller's had turkey poor boys. But then they stopped. I guess they ran out of their turkey. So as soon as I find out they had them, they're out. But where are you from?
West Texas originally. I was born in Lubbock, Texas, and first house was in Levelland, Texas. So went to school in Sundown.
Where's Sundown?
About 15 minutes. I guess that would be south of Levelland-ish, 15, 20 minutes.
I wonder how come I haven't been through there. I'm up there all the time because of Texas Tech and the restaurants and stuff. So I haven't been through Sundown, but I know where Levelland is. It's crazy when you drive up 83. Is it 83 or 84 from Lubbock and you're headed that way?
Maybe 84. I'm bad with road numbers.
It just starts taking you back to like the 1970s. You start heading to Clovis, New Mexico. And they have all the motels, and it's just like you're going back in time headed up there. So, you grew up in Lubbock. Did you go to college?
I went to South Plains College in Levelland for a little bit, and then went to Texas Tech for a little bit and gave them some money. Never
What
graduated.
year? What year was that?
Oh, shoot. Guess that would be, wow, thinking 07, 08 when we were good in football.
Was Guardskis there at that time and open?
Yeah, I think so.
That I never went to Guardskis, but we have the building where it was at, and that's where Beer House is at.
That was the days of Wild West.
Man, it was. Could you get alcohol then, or
No,
you
it
had
was
to
the
go?
Strip.
So you'd cruise out to the strip.
Yep.
And meet old Spivey out there behind the counter at, I forgot where he was working, but he said people cash checks there, got all their booze. And it was the Wild West out there for sure.
The docks.
Yes. Is there Pinkies too?
There's docks, Pinkies. We're out there somewhere.
Yeah, it's, I don't know what year they let you start selling booze at the, did they have booze at the restaurants then?
They had booze at the restaurants. I think when I left, they were starting to had docks had a couple of, remember they put the one out there in Wolfforth, and they had the docks over there kind of off 82nd. They started to sell it in town.
Was Wolfert in the middle of nowhere at that time?
I guess. I mean, you didn't have the Marsh Sharp and all that.
It's all grown up now. So you finished college, or you left Lubbock.
Well, I attended college. I never finished, so.
What'd you go do for that? What were you doing for work?
In Lubbock?
Yeah.
I worked at Extreme Car Wash when I was in Lubbock, when I was going to college.
Is that one of the drive-through car
That was
wash?
one of the drive-thrus that got bought out, so now I don't know who owns it.
And then you decided that you were going to go into the oil field?
Yeah, I moved back to Denver City and worked at the gas plant there in Denver City for a while. And then actually my uncle worked for EOG Resources, and I got in on a deal and got in a training program and moved down here in the Eagleford when the Eagleford kicked off.
Right when it started?
Right. Yeah, probably maybe a year and a half after. It was right when it kicked off.
Dude,
so.
what was that like?
Oh, shoot. We had people buying us lunch, breakfast, and dinner every day.
We were down in Encinal, and which is kind of on the heart of the Eagleford, and you just watched those little South Texas towns explode.
Mm-hmm.
Just go crazy. So you were down there right at the beginning, and what were you doing?
I was actually a lease operator, what they called it. West Texas, they call them pumpers. Those, for that. Then I kind of got promoted up to doing a little more downhole troubleshooting and stuff. So
What does a pumper do?
I just go out and check all the wells, make sure everything's running good, get all your tank levels, paperwork, just basically keep everything going smoothly, operating. So they keep oil coming out of the ground.
And do they have like specific type training for that, or it's pretty...
When I went, we went through like a training that was like I don't even remember what it was, 3-month training. You went and kind of rode along, and they kind of trained you up, and then just threw us out on our own. So I think a lot of people learned just on the job training, but they were kind of they didn't have enough people down here to fill all the positions, so they were kind of shorthanded. So they were trying to take younger people and train them and say, we'll give you a job when you get done. And that's how I ended up down here. So
were you ever thinking about working for yourself at that time, or what was going through your brain?
Oh no, my dad was farming in the oil field his whole life, and I figured that's what I would do. So I just went down here. It was a good job. We were making at the time, making $115,000 a year. So
at how old?
I guess I was probably 23.
That's great. A lot of people get stuck in the oil field, huh?
Oh yeah.
It's like the car sale stuff. It just sucks them in. But then they're never, what did you like about the oil field? Was it all about the money?
Nah, not really. I mean, it was a good paying job for the amount of effort you had to put into it. It's not really what we did. Wasn't really like a labor intensive job. I mean, you just kind of, checking on everything, driving a lot. So
all over South Texas.
The field I ran down there was primarily like Falls City, Gillette, Sestahova, all that down there south of Floresville.
Beautiful country in Floresville.
So
my kids are in Floresville, so I'm there a lot. They play Lavernia tonight.
Oh,
I wonder who's gonna win.
I don't know.
What's up with the kid that was got in a little fight?
I have no idea.
Did you see it on Face Trash?
Yeah.
I wonder what's going on, but it seems like her mom was really trying to shake the bush on getting the other kid in trouble or something.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get his autograph.
Maybe. Could be famous.
Yeah. I think he was number 20 in Lavernia on varsity. He's getting talked about today, so he's halfway famous. Well, what led you into deciding you wanted to start working for yourself?
Well, I guess I was working in the oil field, and I kept signing all these tickets for these guys. And finally, I was like, well, I think I could do that myself and make some money. And
what tickets were you signing?
We'd have, pump trucks and stuff, vacuum trucks out doing work, and I'd sign their tickets. Their tickets would be $2,500 for a day, and I was like, man, I could do that. So
they were pump trucks for...
Yeah, we were pumping fluid down hole, hot oil truck, pump truck, doing stuff, pumping down hole on wells, and that's kind of where I ended up going. So,
and every time they'd come and deliver their product, you had to approve it and sign it?
Yeah, they'd give us a field ticket, and we'd have to sign it saying, yeah, they did this work, and it was verified. So I saw how much money they were making, and I was like, man, I could do this myself. So kind of just started, branching off and looking into how much it was going to cost to do it and what I needed. So
did you have connections, or you were going to go straight to EOG, or how did you decide you were going to make some money or make it work on your own?
No, I just started out working with EOG. I kind of knew all the upper people there, and somehow I got an MSA while I was still working there, and went off on my own and turned in my notice. And
what's an MSA?
A master service agreement. So they make you sign it, sign your life away, all their do's and don'ts.
And so what product did you start delivering to them?
We weren't delivering product. We were mainly a service. We had a pump truck, so we'd pump fluid down the wells to unplug, unplug wells. And then I got into hot oil, and so we'd pump heated fluid down hole to melt paraffin.
So you went and bought an 18-wheeler?
Yes, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I just watched. Those guys would come out there and work for us, and I would sit in the truck with them and ask them questions about what they were doing and why they were doing it and how they were doing it. So I just went and bought a truck and went out on my own.
What kind of truck did you buy?
I was a Peterbilt 389 day cab.
But you started, I guess that means you started out the right way, because that's kind of the Cadillac of the 18-wheeler.
Yeah, we run all Kenworth now, but yeah, Peterbilt, Kenworth, they're all the same product. So
you had no clue how to even get the product down well?
No, I just watched the guys out there doing it, and so I kind of just figured it out. So,
but I think that's what people don't understand, like that's possible.
Yeah. First job I ever went to, the guy said, "Have you ever done this before?" I said, "Nope." Well, we're gonna figure it out. So,
and what was the job?
We were just pumping some water down a well, trying to unplug something in the casing.
So you've got to back up the 18-wheeler. Can you run us through how you do that?
What we were doing, you just pull up to the well and hook up we hook up hard pipe to the well, and yeah, you just have a, vacuum truck you're pulling off of, or you're just pumping fluid down a hole, you just have a triplex pump. So it's just pumping its pressure. So, yeah. And
you were down there at the on site and just going, dude, I could just do this shit myself.
Yeah, that's what I did. I just sit down. Originally I convinced my dad was an oil field, of course, so he kind of knew the ins and outs. And so I convinced my parents and myself to put in all the money we could and just start out. So yeah.
Into an 18-wheeler and a trailer?
Yeah, we just bought one 18-wheeler and a trailer, and we bought some land over down by Jordanton and just parked it there, and I started out with one. So
holy shit. So you were like a wildcatter in the oil business.
Yeah, I guess.
What and how many years was that after the Eagle Ford had taken off?
Well, our business was formed in December of 2014. We didn't actually kick off until probably January of 2015.
And then what did that start looking like once y'all started getting kicked off? Who was involved in the business at the time?
Mainly I started out with myself, and I just kind of ran it, ran the truck, did everything myself. My wife did all the invoicing and back office stuff and keep the money coming in and making sure we were getting paid. And I did all the field stuff, and I just had one truck, and then we got 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And
how long does it take the oil field companies to pay?
If you are absolutely the luckiest person alive, you would get paid in 30 to 60 days, but sometimes 120. Sometimes never.
That is a long time.
So yeah, it's kind of hard when you're trying to cash flow your employees and your fuel and your truck payments, and you got, I always called it was like scared money. Like you had money in receivables, but you didn't have it. It was just out there. You didn't. You're invoicing a lot, but you never could get it in a timely manner. So,
well, run us through how that worked and some of the, bullshit you had to go through at that time. We did that on landscaping stuff, and it would take 30, 60, 90 days sometimes. But you're talking about what type of revenue with 1 or 2 trucks and trying to float the employees in the truck. I mean, what's a truck payment? $2,000?
Those trucks, about $12,000 a month, $13,000 a month.
Holy shit.
Yeah, most people on oil field stuff, they're only going to let you finance it for, 42 months or something, because they think that's in 3-4 years, it's not going to be worth anything because you're just going to just trash it.
What is one load of your product going down an oil well? What is that bringing in on a truck?
We were charging by the hour, and I mean, on a good day, on those hot oil trucks, we're making 2,500 a day, 3,000 a day for a full day.
But then you're waiting 90 days.
Yeah, 90 to 120 days, and you got to pay for all your stuff, So I mean, truck generating $500,000-$600,000 a year, and you got a lot of payments and stuff to try to pay employees. Mainly employees.
That sounds like a big gamble.
Oh, very big. It's oil fields. When it's good, it's good. When it's not, it's not. It's like a roller coaster.
So you would have, how many employees were you running at the time in the oil field?
The max I ever got, I had 13 trucks. So I had 13 trucks. I had a manager. I had a mechanic. And then, like I said, I was, I guess, management too, owner management / and then, I said my wife did all the back office stuff, accounting and making sure we were getting paid and doing the whole thing that you probably don't want to do, trying to figure out. It's like I went out and made the money. She was trying to figure out how to get it, because you just had to constantly just send reminders and call people, and it was a nightmare. And they don't, in the oil field, they don't care. You can say, well, I'm not going to provide my service to you anymore, and they say, okay, we'll use somebody else. They don't. It doesn't matter to them, It's like,
fuck.
They're just going to go find somebody else.
Were they bitching about price at all?
Oh, the oil fields, it's cutthroat price, really cutthroat. I mean, they're going to go with the cheapest person. You know, some companies will eventually see service and see what you can provide for them, and you do a good job. But I mean, it's very, very price driven. You know, what everybody's charging, that's what you're going to try to have to be in the ballpark of.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Oh, it is. That's why we're not there anymore. So,
but what did you learn from that experience? I mean, I don't think people understand if they haven't been through that, what you went through with running a business like that. It's like you never get ahead.
No.
And you're seeing like, okay, so we're producing all of this. We're doing a good job. We're providing for our customer, but then we're not getting paid. So that it creates all this other BS.
Oh, there was times that we went without paying ourselves forever because we were worried about paying our employees, you know?
Yeah.
That's what you got to learn when you have a business. You're not just trying to put food on your table. You're putting food on your table and all your employees, you know? So if you can't pay them, you know? So if it's between you or paying yourself or paying them, you're going to pay them.
Every time.
So, you know?
Every time. Well, and then when I was talking to you, how long, you were saying that COVID kind of killed the oil field, but how long did you run through the oil field stuff?
Well, COVID really killed it. It went from blowing and going to, you know, I think COVID year, I think I was probably going to do about $7 million gross and went from full throttle to just dead stop. And so, you know, we rode through 2020 with all the PPP stuff and the government was giving out and, you know, and finally decided we got to find a way to do something else or we're going to just go bankrupt, you know? So I got a house to pay, you know, kids, and I got employees that got kids and they got a house payment. So just had to find something different to do to pivot because
that wasn't going to work.
No, that wasn't going to work.
How long did it bounce back? Did oil bounce back?
It bounced back after COVID, but man,
that was 2.5 years.
Yeah, it was. If you rode it out that long, people were just going out of business left and right. You know, I mean, there was just no way. And we had good financial people, and they were letting us defer our payments to interest only, and you know, just basically get away with the bare minimum because they knew they'd come repo your stuff, but what are they going to do with it? You can't sell it, you know?
No, we had our bankers, shout out Western Bank, had let us defer some stuff on some mortgages and shit. And if not, I mean, but then you get that PPP money. You're like, damn, it's a pot of gold.
But it's gone fast.
I know. And everyone's like, yeah, you got that free money. And it's like, yeah, but I got nothing coming in. And same with the restaurants. I mean, they shut restaurants down.
Yeah, the payments keep coming, but you're not making any money. So you're kind of just stuck.
That's why I feel right now for those the government shutdowns going on right now. I don't know what day it is. It's the end of October, the 30th of 2024. And that government shutdowns going on right now, has that affected y'all's business at all?
No. I mean, other than the post office workers are pretty cranky when you go in there to try to get money. So
that's
how the mail, they're pretty cranky.
Are they not getting paid right now?
No, they're not getting paid.
And you know, it's such a double-edged sword because the air traffic controllers aren't getting paid right now. And I believe when the ATC air traffic control signs up, they basically, they can't strike. So they're getting really testy right now. And you can hear it over the radio while you're talking to them. And I'm on all these face trash groups with air traffic controllers and pilots. And, you know, a couple weeks, if you're a salaried worker or hourly worker, 2 weeks. But if it starts going past 2 weeks or a month, people really get testy.
Yes, that's what we were in the oil field. We were testy all the time because we were doing all this work and we weren't getting paid for 120 days.
and that's the kind of, you know, that's where we have to be nice towards these people. Because for me, like, same thing in landscaping. And for you, you're like, fuck it. I went 120 days, you know?
Yeah.
And that shit sucks. But you also had some other work that you did where you have payments coming in to kind of help you. So yeah, we went 120 days. We went 90 days on some of these mine were large landscape projects. And, but these guys have no other source of income, and they're now at a month with no income. And so as a business owner, me and you are kind of like, the first thought is like, yeah, fuck it. We went 120 days, but really we didn't, because we had some other shit coming in. So, and you could go into whose fault it is, but at the end of the day, on both sides of the aisle, Democrat, Republicans, they're all fucking clowns. They never tell us the truth, and they're pointing fingers and this and that, but these guys got to get paid.
Oh yeah.
And
it's gonna get real bad.
It is. Dude, another paycheck missed, like, it's gonna be wild. I wonder if the EBT shoppers are gonna go, or the SNAP benefit. You think they're gonna go just loot?
Maybe.
They won't do it at the Seguin HEB. But fuck, man, what are they gonna do?
Just go on with life.
And I saw a thing, when you go to the national park or you're around Port Aransas, it says, do not feed the animals because they'll become reliant upon it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, maybe we shouldn't feed them so much.
Yeah.
And I'm all for like benefits if you're disabled. My buddy has a blind son. If someone loses their job for a month or 2 months, but living on that shit for a year or two,
nah,
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. You got 2 good hands, 2 feet, a brain that works.
People hiring left and right.
Get to fucking work. Probably get in trouble for that, but I don't really care. They can cancel me. I'll live.
That's what I always say. I was like, if I can make it, yes, it can happen. So,
I mean, I get the part of having a heart, but there's churches here, and then HEB is handing out. HEB receives hundreds of millions of dollars from the state and the government via SNAP benefits and shit, right? So when I see that they're handing out $5 million or $10 million, good for you. You got it in right from that same person. So anyway, I don't know. They just need to crank it on. Then we could talk about the inefficiencies of government. Like the postmaster is mad.
Yeah.
What's he doing anyway?
Yeah.
So
delivering mail.
I know. But back to you on a transition. They call that a strategic pivot in business. You saw the end of the oil field, or I couldn't imagine that you were liking your job and your career at that time with how volatile that is, or were you enjoying it?
No, when COVID happened, I don't think anybody was enjoying it. You were just worried day to day if you were going to be able to pay your employees and pay yourself. Mm-hmm. So what about prior to that? I mean, you got trucks breaking down left and right. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like I said, the 120-day deal, I guess it wasn't too bad once you got past your cycle, so if you could make it 120 days, then you had income coming in, but just getting to that, 120 days, or sometimes at the end of the year when these old companies run out of their budget, they would just start slow paying, right around Christmas, trying to make it to the next year. So, yeah. So you transitioned into South Tex Propane, and what did that look like? You had trucks. Where did the idea come from? Run us through the brainstorming that happened. Well, I was watching my bank account go down, and I was worried about what we were going to do. And I mean, we were in Lavernia, and I said, there's only one propane company in town. I was like, there's got to be room for 2. Mm-hmm. And so I just, again, conned my wife and family into saying, hey, we should buy a propane bobtail and deliver propane. Now, what do you know about delivering propane? I don't know anything about delivering propane, but we're going to figure it out. And so you have to go to the Railroad Commission, and I called them, and you have to get your Category E license, which is basically like the master electrician of the propane world to sell propane. And they give that class twice a year. But with COVID, they weren't doing it in Austin. They were thinking about doing it on Zoom. So I said, sign me up. So I actually bought my bobtail before I even passed my category E class. So that was kind of a risk. Bought a bobtail and passed that class and got my license, and then kind of just went from there. And I thought it would be easy to deliver propane, and it is easy to deliver propane, but getting the business, I thought that would be that would come first. Well, it's not. It's the service stuff, new construction, builders, working for them, setting propane tanks, we do tons of residential new construction right now. And so I kind of got into that and started piping the houses and stuff, me and another guy. And that was kind of another thing. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I had a couple of good mentors that they knew what they were doing. So I'd call them and say, hey, what do I do in this situation? What should I do? And they'd tell me, oh, you do this, this, and this, or I can meet you out there and help you. But man, I tell everybody, if you want to go on business for yourself and you don't have a good mentor, I mean, it ain't going to happen, because you can't, this stuff isn't just online, to try to figure out how to do it. So
what's interesting is when I was running a landscaping company, starting out, I had, 3 or 4 trucks, but I had never seen how to run a bigger landscape company. So what I did, sneaky little bastard, I went and got hired by Preferred Landscaping out of San Antonio.
Learned how to do it.
And I went in and I watched how I showed up with a Columbia shirt like that, already embroidered with Preferred Landscaping the first day of work. And they were like, where did you get that? I said, I'm here to work. Okay. And so I watched those guys on how they picked up materials, delivered materials, and got stuff. I think I was running 8 or 9 jobs at a time with Preferred, and then I was running my own stuff. So I did the same thing, just kind of a different way.
Watch somebody else and learn how to do it.
Yeah, I had to. And I immediately went out and bought one of those Kodiak 4500 trucks, and then the big dual tandem dump trailer, because they had a guy that just ran materials all day long. When you do, you have to drop off materials. You probably have to bring in sand, backfill around these propane tanks. And so you're running materials left and right. And we needed a driver for all the landscape stuff. But I had to go do the same thing, because they don't teach that shit in class, You
just got to learn.
Yeah. So you went and you picked up a bobtail, which for people that don't know is an 8-wheeled,
4, 5, 6,
10.
Yeah, just a single axle. That was like a single axle little delivery truck,
Did you know you probably needed a backhoe?
No, well, for burying the tanks, yeah, I've got mine, now I've got my own excavator and own, all that stuff. So
how did it start out? Where did you get your first customer at South Tex Propane?
Well, on the delivering side, we started advertising on Facebook and this and that, and that's kind of where we started. Well, helped me out a lot. We started it in January of 2021, right?
That's a good month.
And what happened after that? That snowmageddon, right?
Oh, shit.
So, everybody was out of propane and nobody was wanting to deliver, but Caylon was out there just delivering his little heart out 18 hours a day, And I came out of that saying, I didn't piss any of my customers off because I didn't have any.
Yeah.
All these other companies were making their customers mad because they couldn't get there. Well, I was just like the person, picking up all the work.
Yeah.
And so I didn't make my customers mad. I had 0 customers. I started out with, none. So
you were making other people's customers happy.
And then they switched to me, and then they tell somebody, oh, well, he was delivering during the snowstorm and nobody else was, and that's kind of where I got going on that. As far as doing builder work,
what does propane run in houses and in commercial buildings for people that don't know?
My house, of course, is all on propane. I've got my furnaces, my hot water heater, my dryer, my cooktop, my gas logs, gas grill outside, my generator.
Everything runs on propane.
Yeah. So.
And where is propane typically used in Texas?
All over. Texas is actually one of the largest states for propane.
because they don't run natural gas.
Yeah, you have areas there's natural gas in Seguin, there's natural gas in San Antonio, but as far as your rural areas, even out on 46, Vintage Oaks has got natural gas in part of it, but part of it doesn't. It's propane. So a lot of people don't want to put the infrastructure in, and so it's all, just all propane. If you want gas appliances. Is
propane more efficient than electric? Like if you're running you have a gas dryer at your house?
Oh yeah, it's way more efficient.
Interesting. I didn't even know they made gas dryers.
Oh yeah, that's what most of the laundromats are. Laundromats are gas dryers. That's why they get so hot. You ever go to the laundromat and take your towels out and they about burn you?
This is why we do this shit. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Thought I knew everything.
Yeah, so no running your comforter 20 times to get it dry.
They have gas dryers for the house.
Yeah, mine's propane at the house. You can get natural gas or propane dryer.
Are they more expensive?
They may be a little bit, but I think they're all priced pretty competitive now.
Do you feel like they're less maintenance?
I haven't had any problems with mine.
I did not know that.
So, and like I said, it dries better. It's, it's a lot hotter.
Gets a lot hotter. And so you started delivering propane during Snowmageddon, and that was your first customer.
That was my first, big,
Were you like, yes, we got.
Yeah.
You had a load of propane on the truck.
Yeah, we had
ready to go.
Well, we had a storage tank in Jordanton because our oil field company required propane too, and they already had that infrastructure of that storage tank. So I was running back and forth to Jordanton from Lavernia, filling up my bobtail, off the big tank, which we got 18-wheeler loads into that tank. So that's kind of where we started out and delivering. And the builders, I wanted to get in with the builders and start doing new construction. And the first one I got was RD Builders in Lavernia.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I gave my spill and didn't hear anything. And so 4 days later, I went back, gave my spill and didn't hear anything. And then I just kept going back. And then finally, Dustin said, yeah, I got a job for you. I'll give you a shot. And then we went to the first house, and now we do all of them. So,
and that was an install job?
Yeah, it was piping the house. We will run the piping in the house for all the gas appliances and then set the propane tank.
Do y'all do the construction inside the house, or the plumber does it all inside the house?
I have guys that do all of it. So we're a turnkey from start to finish. We do the piping, we sell gas logs, we sell grills, we sell appliances, generators. We sell everything. So set tanks.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so if a new house is going up, you guys will plumb everything. So you have plumbers that work for you too, or do you have to have a plumbing license?
Well, actually it's the Railroad Commission jurisdicts all the propane. So actually, if you're a plumber running propane, you have to have your Railroad Commission card too. They're like grandfathered in to being able to run gas in the houses. So.
Why does the Railroad Commission?
Railroad Commission regulates all the oil and gas and propane. They got all sorts of stuff,
Yeah.
They got to get their money.
So what is a bread and butter job for you guys right now?
Really like the new construction is, really that. We have builders, we do turnkey start to finish. We have builders that they have their plumber do the house and then we just set the tank, but that's pretty much our bread and butter all year round, just steady work, because there's new houses being built everywhere around here.
Yeah.
So there's that. And so.
Are you guys removing old tanks too?
We have replaced tanks at houses where, they get an old tank that, needs to be replaced or repaired. We do that stuff too.
Are y'all selling those to M&M Barbecue yet?
No, I don't have many. A lot of the ones are 250 gallon tanks. I know a lot of theirs, they're 1,000, stuff like that. So, but usually I'll just get them, set them at the yard, and I'll have people call every now and again and say, hey, you got a tank? And I'll sell it to them, so.
The barbecue guys need those.
Yeah.
Bad. They scour Craigslist and Facebook, and they have guys that have made a complete business out of buying used propane tanks and reselling them.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal.
They sell for about $1. You know, I mean, like I have a 250-gallon tank. I'll sell it for a couple $100. You know.
Yeah.
And usually we'll get paid to haul it off. You know, somebody's going to pay to haul it off in their house, and we'll turn around and sell it. So
that'd be great. Well, the barbecue joints will take them. I know that. Well, what has been, on the propane, you guys also keep the tanks full for people?
Yeah, we have a monitor that we can put on people's residential tanks, and it's just like it tells us. We get an email every morning and tells us all the tank levels. I actually have a portal too. We can look and see your level, and people put that on their tanks and say, just keep me full and don't let me run out. And we just kind of monitor and keep them full. So that's technology.
Dang.
And we pass on a discount to them a little bit on their propane because we're not having to make a off-route trip specifically to somebody's house. You know, I can look at an area and say, oh, we're in this area, you know, who's low? We can go hit those houses. So
does the monitor just sit on the Wi-Fi?
It's on cellular. It has a Verizon and an AT&T SIM card in it. So it'll pick up whichever, signal's the strongest.
Holy shit.
So yeah, you basically just plug it in and, 2 minutes later, you got their information there and save.
So you don't even have to worry about Ms. Jones calling.
No, not if they want it. I mean, if they want to be on the monitoring program, we put it on it. Other than that, they need to check their tank and, call us when they're low. So.
What percentage of people are staying on the monitor versus just calling?
So I looked this morning, we're up to 1,280 customers, and I've got probably about 300 on monitors. So, I mean, it's not great. It's gaining ground because usually when you can sell people a monitor is when they run out in the winter or when they run out when they're cooking dinner. And I say, well, if you had this monitor, you wouldn't have ran out. We would have known you were
How
low.
much is a monitor?
They're actually only, we charge people for the monitoring service. It's a little over $3 a month. And that's the monitor and that's the cellular service.
That's it.
And then we give them a discount on their propane a little bit to compensate for that. So if they fill up once or twice a year, buy a couple hundred gallons a year, they'll pay for the monitor and then they won't have to worry about it. So
why would you not do it for $3 a month?
I have people that have ran out 4 times and I tell them about it every time and they say, I can look at my tank and they still run out. So
why would you not have it for $3?
No,
I would. We were cooking in down in Seafood and Spaghetti Works in Port Aransas one week, and I think it might have been spring break weekend or some shit like that, and they had a gas line break
right
down there. It took Port Aransas out. We had a 2-hour wait at the restaurant. We had food all over the grill and the gas just stops. And I remember Bristol, this cook, comes up to me and he goes, did you pay the bill? I'm like, yes. And he goes, well, the gas is just not working. And oh man,
you got customers mad.
Oh, it was bad. But then they started calling and seeing what other restaurant they could go to.
Nobody.
How much is a propane system for a restaurant?
Like the piping and everything?
The Mac Daddy.
It really depends on how much, appliances they have. I mean, we've done some convenience stores that just had a griddle and a little stock pot burner. And I mean, for us to pipe something like that, I mean, it might cost them, $1,500 and then the tank, but a lot of commercial businesses, if they want, we provide the tank for them because we're going to get enough gas sold off that customer to, put that tank there. So
I'm sure I don't look at our gas bills or really any of our bills because it would make my hair fall out because we have a lot of them with 9 different establishments. But Port Aransas would be a good place for a propane tank.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few. There's a couple of companies down that way. So,
but what would it run to do a restaurant? I mean, we're burning a shit ton of gas. They run all day, every day, 360 days a year.
Well, natural gas is usually cheaper if the infrastructure is there because you're not having to have a truck come deliver it. It's just being piped in the pipeline. So it's usually cheaper, a little bit depending on where it's at. So.
Except it goes out all the time in Port A.
Yeah, so So see, I guess if you,
I bet you we lost 100,000 that week.
yeah. So it would have, if you'd paid a little bit more for propane, it would have made a difference.
We lost our ass that week, and it was a busy week.
And nobody's going to hit the line from your propane tank to your restaurant unless it's somebody working for you, because you just have the line right there. It's not going to, nobody's going to trench through it unless it's.
I might look into it this year. Because, let's say a hurricane comes.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be the only restaurant cooking food?
Yeah, the natural gas will go shut down. It got shut down there before.
How quick could you get a truck down there if a hurricane came?
I guess as fast as we could drive down there is, but I know there's there's a bunch of propane companies down in that area. I know that I've seen service in that area. So
we have to helicopter a tank in.
They do that up in the, I've seen up in the mountains, they would helicopter tanks in. They would helicopter empty tank out and helicopter full tank in.
Yeah. Well, it will work. Well, what have you learned on, you've grown South Tex Propane from just a bobtail truck and you to what right now?
Right now we have 2 bobtails that we run, a service truck. I have 2 guys that just do installations, piping in houses, hooking gas logs up appliances.
All day.
And I have 2 18-wheelers. We do wholesale gas too. So we actually haul propane transport loads to other propane dealers and stuff like that. So
how'd you get involved or figure out that there was going to be money in that?
Well, that on the wholesale side, I had a mentor that I always bought gas from my whole career, and he retired. And so I kind of learned the ropes of that from him. And, kind of just once he retired, I bought my own trucks and started doing my own thing. And so we actually wholesale, I think this year we'll wholesale about 7 million gallons or something like this year. So
where do you go pick up propane?
Around these parts, it's either Corpus or there's a plant in Three Rivers.
So you have trucks running down the Three Rivers and Corpus,
Yoakum, Hallettsville. There's 4 terminals pretty close by. So we pick up there. So we'll send a truck over there, pick it up, and load it, and then they'll take it to, my tank or whoever else's tank that needs propane.
And that's the full big 18-wheeler?
Yes, we're hauling about 9,300, 9,400 gallons at a time.
Golly.
So, and that's the wholesale market. There's a lot of money in that. You're spending a lot of money to make a little money.
Yeah.
You're chasing just quarters.
But it's consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent. Like I said, the winter's busier than the summer. And that's another thing. So we go pick up propane from the refinery. We got 10 days to pay for it. And so if that customer doesn't pay us in 10 days, guess what?
You're stuck with
You're
it.
floating it, So if they pay you in 30, so.
That's another thing that people don't realize that I learned early on is when an 18-wheeler pulls up and delivers product, it doesn't matter if it's oranges, propane, tennis shoes. There's a shit ton of product in that 18-wheeler.
A lot of money.
So it's expensive.
Yeah. And my, there's days where we pull, $80,000, $90,000 in product in one day.
Yeah.
So, do that by the week,
Oh, man, it's expensive.
And luckily I have, my wife does all the keeping up with getting paid, and halftime I'm bad. I don't even know what's in the bank account. I just try to I make it, and she worries about trying to find it.
I'm just as bad. I don't really look at it that much. I text Connie, the lady that runs my life. I'm like, how much money's in there? Has this, like, even deposits? Because I invoice on some flying stuff, a lot of construction stuff, and if I don't get a physical check from somebody, then I don't know that I got paid. So I have to text her. I'm like, hey, did these wires go
ACH
in?
and stuff.
Yeah, did this go in? Did that go in? And I'll have to text her, I got this, so look for that. And do you think that's a bad habit or a good habit?
I don't know. They taught you in high school how to balance your checkbook, right?
Yeah.
I don't balance my checkbook. Do you?
No.
No, I just, I know I got money coming in and money going out.
Yeah. I always tell people, I say, I just swipe till it says decline.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not. And kind of what I'm getting at is, do you think we should get better about that? It stresses me out.
It would probably help.
It stresses me out because I grew up really poor, so I know what a dollar is, and I don't have a dollar anymore. I've got plenty of dollars, and so when you see those things go in and out, you're like, oh damn, that's a lot.
Well, my QuickBooks sometimes says I'm making money, and I just don't know where it's at.
That would be the cash basis or accrual basis, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I should. I mean, I know within a little bit, but I don't want to look every day. It's too much fucking stress.
It'll make you more stressed.
I know.
When you go quote QuickBooks and you look at that, like for us, look at that. Oh, we got this much money overdue.
And it's not even there anyway. It's fake money. It's not there.
It's just a number.
I know.
So
on the South Tex Propane, a lot of people would say that a reoccurring business is the way to go, where you have customers getting billed monthly. Do y'all have stuff set up like that?
we don't. I mean, most people, we go deliver propane, they pay us. I do have people, that maybe they don't want to spend $500 at once, and I'll tell them, as long as you communicate with me, with us and tell us, hey, I would like to break this up into a couple payments. I mean, I'll do it as long as you're going to pay me.
Or just drop off 200 gallons instead of 300 or 500.
Well, it's like I got customers that have 1,000-gallon tanks. If I let that tank run empty and put 800 gallons in their tank, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So our minimum is 100 gallons. I really can't send a truck out for any less than that and make it, feasible.
Yeah.
So we do 100 gallons, but we have people that, we fill up and they may pay that 100 gallons out and, $7,500 a month, until they get paid off,
What is propane cost a gallon right now? Not your cost. What's it getting sold for?
Residential right now, we're at $2.85 a gallon. And I know that kind of varies company by company, but I would think everybody's probably in between $2.65 and $3.05 a gallon, just depending on the company.
Has it been pretty consistent or is it volatile?
It has. It used to go down really far in the summer and then go up high in the winter, but it kind of seems like we've been stuck at that number for a while. Like
I guess that's good.
It doesn't go up and down enough to really justify. I'm not real big on changing your price every second, but so if it goes up, I eat a little bit, and it goes down, but it's been pretty consistent, so
that's good.
So
what are the parts of your business that you enjoy the most?
I guess I enjoy, the propane for me has been we go to a bunch of these conventions, the TPGA and the National Propane Convention and stuff. And propane is really an actual, really good blue collar industry. Like everybody in the industry is friendly.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody, you go to these conventions and I may compete with these people, but they're friendly. It's not like the oil field was just like, you hated everybody. That was your competition.
Isn't that interesting?
And here, we're in here at Seguin, Dynasty Propane down the road. I'm buddies with that guy. I'm buddies with a bunch of people around here. So
that's interesting too. Same thing with the landscape stuff. You see a landscape guy, you're like, I'm going to talk to him. And it's ended up that a lot of my really good friends are landscapers now. And the barbecue world, I'm around some of the barbecue guys here often. And even just this morning, we meet a guy that barbecues out of Canada, and he wanted to head down to Burnt Bean and learn from them. And he's there cooking on their pits. Yeah, he's learning from them, and in the oil field, be like, no, stay away from my shit.
Yeah,
and down here,
I don't want to teach you how to do it.
Yeah, isn't that cool? But that's the way it should be.
And I don't want to be like, if I go to Seguin, I'm short a regulator, I know I can stop in there and buy a regulator from them, and they're not going to be mad. But same thing if you need something from me. But, in the oil field, if you need something, you're not going to go next door to your competition and get it.
Yeah.
They would just...
Where's y'all's shop at now for the propane company?
We're in Livonia, right between Livonia and Sullivan Springs.
I have to pay attention. I go that way sometimes to Floresville.
Yeah, so...
Do y'all have a retail station where they pull up too?
We fill bottles a lot more in the winter. I'll stick somebody there all day. In the summer, it's just so hit or miss. It's like you really can't justify keeping an employee there all day
Yeah.
to fill, one person's barbecue tank. So we're pretty good if people call us and say, hey, I got some barbecue tanks I need filled. I'll make sure somebody's there. But, eventually I would want to get somebody there full time, but kind of the works. So
with an umbrella.
Yeah. So
what is one of the biggest things that you've learned about working for yourself? The hardest lessons you've learned?
I guess just try to find something that the public has to have. That's kind of where when COVID happened, I was like, well, the trash people were still picking up trash and people were still delivering propane. But if you do something that, basically like the economy is going to tank, it's like the economy could tank tomorrow. People are going to have propane for their heaters or their water heaters or whatever they have. They can't go without it. It's like electricity. The power company's not going to go away. So yes. I try to do something that you can, that it's not affected by the economy. The oil field was just kind of up and down,
Yeah.
I used to watch oil prices every single day of the week. Like I'd update that tracker like 20 times a day. Somebody told me yesterday, they said, oh, something about oil prices. And I was like, well, what is it? Because I don't pay attention to it anymore. But
yeah, that
was what you would know, the oil field. If the prices went down, they would just slow down, not do anything. The prices go up, it was like boomtown.
Dang.
But that's kind of my deal, is try to find that, something you can do that somebody has to have,
Are you glad you got out of the oil field?
Oh, 100%. I missed the majority of my daughter's first part of her life working in the oil field, because I would come home at 10, 11 o'clock midnight, and she was asleep, and I go to sleep, and then I'd wake back up and go that. So, and that's another thing. I mean, I don't think people notice behind a business. Like, if you want to own your own business, you better marry somebody that understands it, because like my wife, she takes care of the kids, takes care of the books, makes sure we have money. She sends out emails trying to find work. She does all that, but you have to have somebody that gets it.
Yeah.
A lot of people will get mad, say their husband's out working all the time, but it takes somebody to understand it, so.
Well, that goes to the work-life balance thing. Do you think there's a work-life balance with the business owner?
Oh yeah. Just in the oil field, I don't think there was a work-life balance, because we just basically worked, nonstop. I think there was times I drove a truck for, 20, 30 days straight, never took a day off.
God.
But like the propane's great. I mean, we, basically work, baker's hours, except for in the winter when it's busy. Of course, we hunker down and get going. But I make it to all my, I usually make it to all my kids, volleyball games and soccer games and practices and stuff like that now. So
it sounds like you don't get the winter blues like I do from landscaping.
No, we love winter.
No, it's completely opposite from me. I have to save money all summer long to get through the winter, so I call it the winter blues.
We're backwards.
And here you are just having a great time. I can see you going down a ski slope with a smile on your face.
We make all our money in the winter and then try to have to figure out how to make it in the summer. So
you got the summer blues.
Oh yeah. But it's good, because then you can go on vacation and stuff like that, and you don't feel like you're so busy that you can't go do stuff. So.
But y'all get the installs and stuff too.
Yeah, year round.
But does your majority of your revenue come in from delivering actual propane gas though?
Mm-hmm. I'd say so. We have we do a lot of service works. I mean, we do make a lot of setting tanks and doing installs.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of a thing you have to go after. It's not going to come to you.
Yeah.
My wife has a builder list she has generated. And she emails, blasts builders all day, every day, saying, hey, this is what we provide. Yeah. This is who we are. And they pan out.
That's
we get calls, and, if you go to a builder and you do a good job, they're going to keep calling you back,
Yeah. And
so that's service work. You have to go after it. You can't, most of the time it's not going to come to you,
What are y'all servicing?
New construction, and we do stuff for new construction. We do stuff for a lot of I have generator companies that use us, to set all their propane tanks for their generators and stuff. So, and we sell generators too, but we work for a lot of other generator companies. So.
Generac generators.
Yes, we're a dealer.
Y'all are into all kinds of shit, not just delivering propane.
You got to be.
Who comes up with all those ideas?
I guess they come to me in my sleep.
It's crazy how to start a new product or service, you have to go from mental creation. So you thought about it, right, while you're sleeping, but then you have to go to physical action,
Right.
and implement. It's like picking up the phone and calling the railroad company to start your propane thing. Why do you think a lot of people go for mental creation and then they don't do jack shit?
I think a lot of people just don't want to take on maybe the unknown. It's like once you go into business by yourself, you're kind of just, it's just like unknown what's going to happen.
I call those people the wantrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Because they want to do it and then they don't act on anything. And I think that's the key to success. And how many times in your career have you tried shit and failed?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just do stuff and it just doesn't work out, you know?
I could write a book about the amount of shit that I've tried that didn't work.
Yeah, it's like the oil field. It worked out for a little bit and then it didn't.
Yeah.
You know, but we're here now. So
yeah, maybe one day we'll be successful.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'm trying. Won't be from a lack of effort.
I know. If not, I tell people, well, if not, and if I fail, I can always go mow grass. And I like mowing grass.
That's what I always said. When I started out, like I told you, when I started the oil field and I was, young, that was my whole mentality is, it was just me and my wife and myself. We didn't have a family yet. And I said, well, if I fail, I'll just go back to work for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you gotta look at that. It's like, if this doesn't work, what am I going to do? It's a lot. It'd be a lot harder to start your business when you had a family and this and that, because you got to think about, what would happen.
I have a guy that's been coming in here to chat a few times that has a family. He's been working. He does really well, but he's ready to go on his own. And that's a big obstacle.
Yeah, it's good, but it's hard.
It's a big obstacle for him. What bit of information would you today look back and tell your 20-year-old self? What advice would you tell him? Hey, we're going deep here,
I don't know.
Well, you got to come up with something. What advice would you give somebody that was 20 or your 20-year-old self based on what you've gone through and where you are today and that journey?
Well, I guess just for, the younger generation, it's like, we get these kids in high school and they think that, I got to go to college to make it. Well, you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to go to college. I mean, you just got to have a good, strong work ethic and go do something, College isn't for everybody.
No.
I attended. I didn't make it out,
Yeah.
And a lot of these people get degrees and they don't use them.
Jack shit.
But you can't not do it. I mean, it's like, you can do it if you want to do it. You just have to set your mind to it that you're going to do it. And you got to be willing to put in the work to get it done, Would you ever thought when you were 20 that you'd be slinging this much propane and running a business? No, I thought I was going to work for the men the rest of my life and just be, work for somebody else. I would never dream about working for myself. Yeah. So it's got its ups and downs. Everybody asks me, if you had to do all over again, would you do it again? I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's good. You have a lot of stress in your life, but at the end of the day, you're your own controller. So how do you handle stress as an entrepreneur? I do pretty good with it. Like I said, I worry about the day to day, making the money come in. And I think the other part, my better half, she stresses out, about dealing with the money stuff. That's the side I don't want to, I don't want to see it. It's like you talk about balancing your checkbook. I don't want to know how much money's in there. Yeah. I just see the money coming in. Yeah. I have my Connie that does that. Yeah. And, I mean, that's a lot of stress on the why. That's a whole nother topic of working with your other half. You got to be a good team. And I mean, when does work shut off for y'all, or does it? Yeah, I don't think it ever shuts off for me. That's been a ongoing issue as I think about it 24/7. Yeah. But like my wife, she's got to worry about the business and the kids. And I'm blessed with that. She takes care of making the meals and keeping up with the kids' schedule. I can't keep up with their schedule. She keeps up with it, you know. I don't even know when we're going trick or treating. So,
oh, my ex-wife will send me all these calendar things for the kids. I'm like, oh man, we gotta be everywhere.
Yeah, volleyball and
everywhere,
soccer practice,
all of the above
games.
Well, I'm glad you stopped by today. It's that's an hour.
Yeah,
in 5 minutes.
Went by fast.
I know, it goes by quick as shit. But we're gonna go eat some burnt bean for lunch, which will be good, and always is. What do y'all like to get there?
Everything. I haven't had anything that was bad there.
Yeah, I haven't had to return any food yet.
No.
Today we'll tell them, hey, this is maybe a little overcooked. Cause a scene.
Yeah.
Get kicked out. I don't think we'll do that. Well, what else do you have to say about South Tex Propane, or anything else you want to add or take away?
Nah, I mean, just I guess if anybody needs anything, and we do it, everything from install to tanks to wholesale to generators.
And where do they find y'all at?
Well, you can find us on the Facebook, and with South Tex Propane. Shoot, what is it? .net.
Cool.
That's our website. So
cool.
The Google can Google us. So
and get some propane quick. Well, we enjoyed it, man. I appreciate you coming in. It's been fun. Let's go eat some good lunch.
Likewise.
Thanks for watching Business Under Fire. We'd love it if you would share, like, and subscribe. See you next time.